Hey guys, how's it going? How's your beautiful day going on this beautiful day? This beautiful, fantastic day. How's it going? Today, we have our reactions to this week in the NFL. And we are going to start off with the Saints and Chiefs game with my first disappointment. And the first disappointment is going to be the New Orleans Saints, who are never going to win anything with Derek Carr at quarterback. I am pretty positive that the name of this episode is going to be I take back my apology that I gave to Derek Carr. To start the season, I was like, man, I got to apologize to Derek Carr because the motherfricker was amazing through 2 weeks. And I said at the beginning of the season that he's not very good and this team's not going to get anywhere with Derek Carr. And, well, I was right to start off with. But I second-guessed myself and said, I apologize, Derek. And I don't apologize because I was right. You are not a good quarterback in the NFL. This team is being extremely held back by you. And the thing is, Alvin Kamara did not have a good game. But Alvin Kamara shouldn't have to be a top 10, top 5 level running back every single week. You know, that's something you do expect of Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara should be performing better than how he did. But if he's not performing, you need a quarterback who is able to sustain a passing game. And you don't have a quarterback who can sustain a passing game. He can't do anything out there. It looks ridiculous. Like, Derek Carr is not a good quarterback. Shout out to Juju Smith-Schuster, though. He came in and played absolutely fantastic football for the Kansas City Chiefs, so you gotta give credit there, credit where credit's due. But yeah, this Saints team is lost. They, like I said at the beginning of the season, they're not a good team. They started off well, made me apologize. I take back my apology to the entire Saints roster. As soon as I was like, yeah, you guys fine, you guys are good. Then you show me why I was right all along. And I swear, if you guys come this week, I don't know who you guys play, but if you come this week and blow out somebody, let's see who they play. You guys are playing the Buccaneers, a game I'm 100% picking the Buccaneers to win that game. 100%. The Buccaneers are winning that game against the Saints. You heard it here now. If the Saints go out there and score 40 points and beat them, then no matter what I do, if I say the Saints are going to suck, bet for the Saints. If I say that the Saints are going to be good, then bet against them. Now, I'm going to give the Broncos their love, okay? I didn't talk about the Broncos in my last video, or in my last weekly reaction video in which we beat the Jets, because there wasn't much to talk about except for our defense is fantastic. And I still have to say, our defense is absolutely fantastic. I love how good our defense is. But what I also want to say is Bo Nix played a great second half of this game after he kind of had words with Sean Payton. Came back and looked actually pretty good throughout this game. So we like to see that. Javonte Williams needs to get more rushes in the first half. He needs to get more rushes, but he played great. Jaleel played pretty decent. Not amazing, but he did have the touchdown. Bo Nix had 3 total touchdowns on the day. 11 different receivers caught a pass. And hey, Broncos football could be back. I said this was a game I still predicted us to win, but this was a game that Denver normally loses. And this year, or this week, they really put belt to ass like they were supposed to. Like, this is a team that was supposed to beat the hell out of the Raiders after the competition that they've played throughout the season. And they did that. They played up to what their expectation was going into the game. So good job for the Broncos there. My second disappointment for the week is going to be the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Play calling at the end of the game was awful, I'll say. Throwing 3 passes inside of your own goal line, basically, and then punting the ball away inside of field goal range just to easily hand the Texans this win. I don't understand what you guys are doing. The coaching and the play calling there is baffling. But, I mean, throwing 21 incompletions. Josh Allen played his worst game of his career. This was really bad for the Buffalo Bills on every side of the football. Their defense after the first quarter was all right. But, I mean, there was nothing to look forward to when you looked at, and what I said at the beginning of the season with them not having a wide receiver, I still stand by it. I still stand by it. This team is going nowhere. This team is going nowhere without wide receiver help. They need wide receiver help immediately. They need a number 1 wide receiver. They at least need a number 2 wide receiver. They don't even have a number 2 wide receiver on their team. This team is just not it has no weapons except for James Cook. And when you're that one-dimensional, Josh Allen is going to have 9 for 30 passing, which is a ridiculous stat, by the way. But it's ridiculous. This team has as so many flaws in it. You know, the defense, like I said, they played decent after the first half, or after the first quarter. They played actually pretty good. Their offense is just so dysfunctional at this time. Like, this is what I was saying. They may only win 10 games this year just because, like, this offense is so mid, you know? Like, Josh Allen could be an MVP candidate. He's shown us through the first 3 weeks. But since then, he's looked awful. Like, the past 2 weeks, Josh Allen has not looked like the MVP quarterback he's supposed to look like. And his wide receivers are giving him zero help. I don't know. Something's got to change with this Bills team. And they may not even win a playoff game. I'm just saying, based on how bad this offense is, they may not win a playoff game. Do I think they could? Yes. Do I think they're not going to win? Do I think they're doomed? No, I don't think they're doomed. But they have a very, very major issue. And before the trade deadline, I'd try to like see what's going on, you know, like try and get like a Devontae Adams. Another surprise for the week is going to be the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is improving massively every week. We came into this and immediately we're like, oh, Caleb Williams is ass. You know, he plays 2 games and he doesn't look amazing in his first 2 or 3 games. And we immediately start judging him as a bust. And like, you got to give him time. You got to give him time to make something shake. And 304 yards, 2 touchdowns. He played fantastic football, threw some great throws. He looked very poised in the pocket. A credit to DJ Moore as well down here. DJ Moore played another fantastic game himself. Rumors of him not putting in any effort and not being a great wide receiver, those can go to bed. He played a fantastic game. 5 receptions, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift was all right. Didn't play overly amazing, but he did play decent. And Roschon Johnson, again, didn't play overly amazing, but played decent. Could easily have been a lot more passing touchdowns for Caleb, but they always got down to like the 1 or 2 and then just ran it in. My second disappointment for the week is going to be the 49ers. I don't know what's going on with this 49ers team. Actually, I do. You can look at Jordan Mason and say 14 carries, 89 yards. He averaged 6.4 yards per carry, and he's had like 100 yards. He's been amazing as a rusher. But this team becomes very one-dimensional when you don't have a guy like Christian McCaffrey. He's your joker card, if you'd like to call it that. Without Christian McCaffrey, this offense just is not as good. It's not as good. Jordan Mason does not fill the role that Christian McCaffrey can fill. And yes, Jordan Mason, great runner, and behind this offensive line, any running back is going to look pretty freaking good behind this offensive line. But the 2-dimensional value that Christian McCaffrey brings to a football team is just unmatched, and they are missing it. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle had good games, but you look at the rest of like Jordan Mason, your running back only got 1 reception. If that's Christian McCaffrey, he probably has 4, you know? It's just the San Francisco offense just seems to get very one-dimensional, and Brock Purdy just seems to not be as quick on his feet as he normally is. He's not like quick on his feet. Oh, I made the read, I'm going to throw it there. I made the read, I'm going to throw it there. It doesn't look like that right now. And that's what you want to see, improvement from Brock Purdy. I still think Brock Purdy is a very decent quarterback. I think he is in a system that's helping him grow very well as a NFL quarterback. But you got to play better than this if you're Brock Purdy. Shout out to Arizona for winning this game. They're not getting a surprise for the week just because I don't think that they outwardly performed. I think San Francisco just severely underperformed. Yeah, San Francisco's got to get something shaken there because they're not looking like a Super Bowl team. And honestly, they're not looking that much like a playoff team right now. And they're going to make the playoffs. It's the 49ers. They're star-studded. They are going to make the playoffs, and I can put my stamp on that. But are they going to win a playoff game? Are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? They're for sure not. At this pace, they're not. San Francisco is starting to get to a very high panic meter with the way that they're playing right now. Oh, so this is, I don't know if I said at the beginning. I think I said this was my second disappointment. This is my third disappointment of the week. And my third and final surprise for the week is going to be the New York Giants. No one could have told me that they were going to win this game without Malik Neighbors. When Malik Neighbors was ruled out of this game, there's no way that you could have told me back when I made my predictions video on Wednesday. You could have never told me that Daniel Jones and the New York Giants were still going to win this game when Malik Neighbors was ruled out. Like, that's just something I did not see happening. And Daniel Jones came into this game and looked amazing. He played amazing. Yes, the run game carried this game a lot. Tyrone Tracy played fantastic. He was running very, very efficiently and very well. Daniel Jones made it work without Malik Neighbors. Darius Slayton had a very, very good game, and everybody else, Wan'Dale Robinson only got 6 catches, but he was very productive. This New York Giants team, hey, man, they're better. They're better. They're way better than people are giving them credit for. The Giants deserve to get a lot of credit for how they are playing. Yes, Malik Neighbors seem to be carrying this offense, but now that Malik isn't there, what do you got to say? Okay, week 1, you go against the Vikings. They are currently the best team in the league. 28-6, you get waxed, but again, best team in the league. Commanders, arguably the second best team in the league right now. Arguably, I'm not going to say that they 100% are, but right now they're arguably looking like the second best team in the league right now. You'll only lose by 3. And if you had your kicker, Graham Gano, you could be going into overtime in that game and possibly winning it against the Commanders. Against the Browns, you barely beat the Browns. Now, the Browns are a team you should beat the hell out of if you are pretty good, but you beat the Browns. So good job. You beat a team you're supposed to beat. Then you play the Cowboys, and you take them. It's 20-15. The Cowboys are looking, I don't know what to say about the Cowboys right now, but you almost win that game. You're a couple calls away from beating the Cowboys. Okay? Now you go against the Seahawks, another very good team. They have not played. The Browns are the only bad team they've played so far. They've played good teams every single week, and they've been in contention for every single game except for the Vikings. So you really got to give the Giants credit, and you got to give Daniel Jones credit, and you got to give the running game, you got to give everything credit for how they are playing this season because they are severely overperforming. They play the Bengals next week, another game where they probably shouldn't win. But if they put up a fight, don't be surprised at all. Do not be surprised whatsoever if they put up a fight. Against the Eagles, don't be surprised if they put up a fight. The Steelers, don't be surprised if they put up a fight. And I'm just realizing this team has one of the hardest schedules I've seen. Wow. The Giants actually have probably the hardest schedule I've seen. The Panthers is the only game that I see them actually win. They actually can go into that game being like, yeah, we're going to win this one. The Giants, they have the tough game. Possibly you could take that one as a win depending on how the Colts. But then tough game. They have 2 easy games all season. 3 with the Browns. The Giants are severely underrated as we come into this game. Do I think they're going to win a lot more games this season? Probably not. As I just said, they have such a tough schedule, and they're just not good enough team to win all those games in the schedule, but they will be content. They will be in those games with most of those teams, if not all of them. So you got to give the Giants credit for winning this game and showing that they are a team that you should be scared of if you're playing them. If you're the Steelers playing them, you need to be scared of the Giants. If you're I don't know, any other teams, if you're the Eagles, you need to be scared of the Giants, right? Even the Commanders, you need to be scared of the Giants. You can't look at the Giants and be like, oh, that's a win. You can't. Not anymore. Especially when they win without Malik Neighbors. When Malik comes back with the steady improvement that this team is coming with every week. If I'm a fan of a team that's going against the Giants, I'm not shaking in my boots, but I'm not comfortable with that game. I'm not comfortable with playing the Giants because they are a scrappy team that is playing well this season. And although they're 2-3, if they have any worse comp than what they're going against, I could see them being 3-2, 4-1. Other than that, other games that I'd like to talk about, the Jets just, I don't know. They're not putting it together. They have played the best defenses in the league back-to-back weeks, though. They played the best defense last week. They played the best defense, or another one of the best defenses this week. The Vikings and Broncos 1A, 1B as far as defenses go. I could say my bias will say that the Denver defense is the best in the league, but if you said Minnesota was the best defense in the league, I wouldn't disagree with you either. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that they have, like I said, they have played the best defense in the league back-to-back weeks. When you went up against not as good of a defense in the Patriots, you put belt to ass, right? So, and you put belt to ass to a not as good of a defense in the Titans. And yeah, you only scored 24 points both those weeks, but your offense looked a lot better. Washington, as I said earlier, they're the second best team in the league. Jaden Daniels, although he threw an interception, looked great in this game. And this Washington Commanders team is a team that you got to really, really be scared of from now on. They are a very, very good team. Also, another thing, Trevor Lawrence, I'm not going to apologize to you. I'm going to say, good job. Great job, Trevor Lawrence. You played a great game in what we expect from you. This is what we expect from Trevor Lawrence. Thank you, Trevor. This is what we expect from you. Finally, you gave us a performance that we expect from Trevor Lawrence based on what we saw in 2023, based on early 2023, like 2 seasons ago, not last season, the season before. What we saw in late 2022, early 2023. This is the Trevor Lawrence that we've been waiting to see. So thank you for showing up. Does my opinion change on you because of this game? Absolutely not. Because you need to do it for more than just one game against the Colts defense. Last game I want to talk about probably before we end this video is Lamar Jackson against Jamo Burrow. I guess Jamo Burrow. That could be Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's chip name. Joe Burrow, you got to feel sorry for him, man. 300, almost 400 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, the 1 pick, but Joe Burrow shouldn't have to be 100% perfect. And this is one of the games I actually predicted 100% right. I predicted 2 games right. It was this one, but I said the Bengals could score 5 touchdowns in this game. They're still losing, and that's exactly what happened. They scored 5 touchdowns and lost this game. Dallas is the other game that I even got the score correct on that one. Joe shouldn't have to play 100% perfect for you guys to win a game. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that he can throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, but his 1 pick is what set apart this game. That's ridiculous. And shout out to Lamar Jackson, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, really took advantage of this just completely putrid Cincinnati Bengals defense. Like this defense is just awful. There's no way that you guys put up 38 points and still lose. There's no way that 2 weeks ago you put up 33 points and still lose. There's no way that you guys score 34 against the Panthers and still only win by 10. It's really hard to look at this Bengals team and say that they're going to win any more than they're not. They could maybe make the wild card, but what are we doing here? This defense is so unbelievably bad. Cincinnati's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Like, this offense is like a top unit in the league, and their defense is by far the worst. It's ridiculous. It's hard to look at this defense. It's hard to look at this team and be like, right now their defense is historically bad, and it's getting historically worse. Like, it's crazy that you can score 38 points and still lose in overtime. The coaching, Zach Taylor needs to go, because running 3, I understand you want to be conservative. You don't want to give the ball back to the Ravens. But 3 straight runs when none of them, not one run worked. You ran it 3 straight times. Not a single time did any of those runs work. And then you kick a field goal. You get a little bit of trouble with the snap and hold. The one time McPherson misses one of those kicks. Again, McPherson and Joe Burrow and this offense has to be 100% perfect for them to win a game. And that is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to be 100% perfect to win NFL football games. One side of the ball shouldn't have to be perfect to win games, because they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be. They should be able to, the Bengals should be able to make 1 mistake per game and be able to live with it, but they can't. They made 1 mistake offensively and they had to go to overtime, and then special teams makes 1 mistake and they lose the game. You could say that the Bengals offensive/special teams only made 2 total mistakes in this game, and they still lost. That is going to be my reactions for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Show my channel to your friends, to your family, to anybody. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one.